immigration and workforce, which would you say is the most important issue, and which will have any change in this regime will have the far-reaching consequences in terms of economy, the global economy?
Thank you, Kartikeji, and namaskar to everybody, and it's so great to be here. I want to answer a little bit to your previous questions itself.
Please go ahead.
Why did the middle order kind of collapse? When choices are like night and day, when the Republican Party, headed by Donald J. Trump, wants secure borders, and the other party wants 22 million illegal migrants to come in and provide amnesty and make them instant citizens with instant voter rights, and provide them with a lot of freebies that even citizens here who've been here for generations don't get, then definitely there's going to be polarization. And if President Trump wants to stop wars in the world, while the other party, the Democratic Party, wants to continue Ukraine and pour billions of dollars, while Americans here are suffering after pretty bad storms in North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, FEMA's bankrupt. They used all that FEMA emergency money that was earmarked for American citizens towards providing freebies for people who came across a southern border. And there is so much of women trafficking, child trafficking, and the Trump government had made it mandatory to have DNA testing for any adult accompanying a child. Day one, the Biden administration canceled it, and now we don't know who's accompanying the children. And what we hear is a lot of pedophilia is happening. That's not what the United States is about. Secure border is important, and peace in the world is important. The very beginning of this administration, they cut a check to, or maybe last year, sorry, not in the beginning, but still that move was made. They cut a check to Iran, $6 billion, and then October 7 happened to Israel. So a lot of foreign policy blunders by the Democratic Party in this current administration versus President Trump is a visionary. He wanted the Abraham Accords and got it done. And that really paved the way for the U2I2. And where Israel, and did we ever think in our lifetimes we could see that? So, those are the peace accords that he has done. He made sure he really spoke to Taliban. But the pullout was very messy by this administration that we all had the world to see. And as a Hindu American, I'm very concerned about the way Bangladeshi Hindus are being treated right now. And that sudden regime change, despite a lot of, recommendations by India to not put a very radical kind of a government there, and that Sheikh Hasina is very good for the minorities. They can be peaceful there. Still, that was not even heeded to by the current administration. And then they just went on to do a regime change, and Bangladeshi Hindus are in a throw of genocide. So when the policies are so different like night and day, there is definitely going to be polarization. And I also want to point out to the very tough stand that the President Trump administration took and Mike Pompeo took on China. Whereas this administration has been so kind of friendly, we didn't see any major action against China. China is a major adversary for the United States. And most importantly, and this I will, this will kind of wrap up and give kind of a context. The US-India relationships, as seen by us Indian Americans, has not been the greatest in the last 4 years. Ajit Dovalji has been named in some lawsuit we hear. And, this is not the best diplomatic ties. It's not a warm thing. We are part of the Quad. We are democracies. We need to work together. But this administration has not focused on that. Whereas, look at President Trump. I mean, he wishes us Hindus for Diwali, saying not just lip service, oh, hi, happy Diwali, and the other side wishes for 1 billion people, 1 billion who people. How about saying Hindus? We're not South Asians alone. We're Hindus from all over the world. Whereas President Trump is very specific. His team is a rock star team, Tulsi Gabbard and everybody. So he wished us Hindus for Diwali. So that is dichotomy comes out. And I think Make in America is going to be the most important thing of this administration when President Trump becomes the 47th president, because Make in America is going to fuel manufacturing here, and that will definitely have a say in the rest of the world. But when America is strong, It is a democracy. It's a beacon. It's a shining city on a hill. So that's what is going to improve the well-being of all other countries in the world. We need
Okay.
a strong leader for the world.
Okay.